may have will be included in the record. I now welcome our first panel, Chairman Cole, former chairman of this committee, and Ranking Member DeLaura from the Committee on Appropriations. Your full statement will be submitted for the record, and we ask that you summarize your statement in 5 minutes. Chairman Cole, I welcome your testimony.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Chairwoman Fox, Ranking Member McGovern, members of the Rules Committee, I appreciate the opportunity to testify today. While the moment certainly feels familiar, the issues before us remain critically important. Let me start with a simple reminder. Legislating is challenging by design. The path here may have been different than expected, but our responsibility is the same, to fund the government and keep it working for the nation. Members are already acquainted with the legislation at hand. The underlying package was assembled and passed by the House 2 weeks ago and represents the final 6 FY26 appropriations measures. It has now been sent back with a Senate amendment that fully funds 5 divisions for the year and places the remaining division, the Department of Homeland Security, under a 2-week continuing resolution. To underscore the scope of funding before us, today's full-year bills cover the Department of Defense, the Departments of Labor, Health and Human Services, and Education, the Departments of Transportation and Housing and Urban Development, the Department of State, the Department of the Treasury, and many agencies related to each of these departments. Funding these missions is not optional. It's part of our Article I duties, and we must see them work through. 2 weeks ago, the House and Senate struck a bipartisan and bicameral deal to move forward on our remaining appropriations bills for fiscal year 2026. As I knew we would, the House acted expeditiously and appropriately and approved these negotiated bills before leaving for our scheduled district work period. Now, however, the Senate has altered the deal. I acknowledge the frustrations of this situation, and I share in those sentiments. Trust me, I speak from direct experience, but our obligation is not to our feelings, it's to the American people. Getting 90% of something is better than 100% of nothing. I still believe the best and most appropriate course of action was for the Senate to approve the 6-bill package as we negotiated it. The Senate, however, has chosen a different path. And so we are left here in the House with a classic Hobson's choice. We can take the amended bill or we can leave it. My view is that we should take it. Today's bill will close out 5 of our remaining 6 appropriations bills for FY 2026, including our 2 largest measures covering defense and the Labor, Health and Human Services and Education departments. It will also include a 2-week continuing resolution for our 6th and final bill, the Department of Homeland Security, which will give some time for additional negotiations on that measure. President Trump has directly engaged Democrats in good faith conversations while making clear that holding the government or the American people hostage is wrong. I'm confident that once these discussions are completed, the final outcome will closely mirror the measure Chairman Amodei negotiated and the House passed 2 weeks ago, a comprehensive bill that, unlike this stopgap, funded ICE body-worn cameras and de-escalation training, delivered a pay raise for our Coast Guard and our air traffic controllers, granted funding to support firefighters and first responders, strengthened disaster preparedness, and enhanced efforts to combat fentanyl. So today is Groundhog Day, both literally and figuratively, but doing the right thing for the American people never gets old. I thank each of you for your time, and I urge all members to support this bipartisan package, and I look forward to answering your questions later today.